record.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I use that term loosely, and welcome to AI, the cool stuff. Today, we're going to be talking about what's happened in the last week and hopefully introduce some new products that you may not have seen or may be updated. So, that's as always. We'll go around the room and introduce ourselves, and just say if you pay for an AI subscription of some sort, or whether you're a freeloader. And there's nothing wrong with that because you can live really well moving from AI to AI and working for nothing, especially if you speak Chinese. Shirley.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shirley. I work in health and wellness, so I help people to look after their good health and help them to earn money on the side as well. My AI experience, as everyone on this group knows, is very limited or non-existent. However, I've been encouraged to do a sales tracker. So I attempted to use ChatGPT to help me with it. And so far, so good. There's some bits I still don't understand on the tracker, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. I just ask it. Say, look, I'm not very techie. Can you do this in plain language?
Hey, one thing at a time.
Because I always key that in, I'm doing a presentation for non-techies, if I was, or I might just say exactly who your audience is, like I would say like intelligent business owners, not necessarily super techie, and then you frame it in those
Yep.
terms.
I
And
always like explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
yeah, that's kind of a bit too, that can be dumbing it down a bit too much sometimes. But sometimes it's a good one to say 16-year-olds or sort of undergraduates, or you could be sort of, you sort of. I usually find that undergraduates is dumb enough for most people. So it's so thank you, Jane.
Hi there. Companies in Victor Linux, we provide IT solutions to small and medium-sized businesses with a strong focus on data sovereignty as a new buzzword on block. And we focus on Linux and other open source solutions pretty much. And I don't pay for any AI. I'm far too mean, and I still haven't found one I think is absolutely perfect and fits all the criteria. But interestingly, I don't know whether any of you subscribe to I've Been Pawned, but do you remember a music platform? I think it's called Suno.
Yeah.
Suno?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was breached in that. Apparently, the breach happened last November, and they took pretty much all the details that you had, which fortunately weren't huge. But yeah, just it's worth subscribing, I think. I've Been Pawned to
And you actually paid for that, did you?
No. I've Been Pawned to actually free.
So what did you do?
It
It must have just taken your login details, I guess.
Yeah, it tells you in the breach notification. It tells you exactly what's been stolen. So it was partial passwords, your address if you had an email address, and yeah, stuff like that. But
God, imagine if they got hold of David's videos he's done, all his Victorian stuff.
well, goodness me.
I know.
Heavy offend.
Wreak havoc. I mean, it's been a bad week. Well, bad time for Suno because they've been sued because they trained their model on Pink Floyd and the Rolling Stones and the Oliver and things, So it was they've been done for that, and but I'll talk about that a little bit later actually, and about open source as well, because it's a very interesting debate between open source and paid for. Andy.
Yeah, Andy, Web Success Insights to help people get more from their websites and marketing. I pay for ChatGPT still, Claude API stuff. I pay for Google Workspace, which of course seems obviously you get Google Work Gemini within that. I'm starting to use Gemini more than I did before, and I'm starting to ask questions about why you pay for ChatGPT. But I'm not going to give up just yet. Yeah, and I don't think I've been hacked as yet, but bearing in mind what they said about OpenAI recently, I'm sure you're going to come onto that one, David, aren't you?
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
going out the sandbox.
yeah, definitely. That's
Yeah.
Then it's only a matter of time.
the first.
Yeah.
I'll put if they access my stuff, I'll probably get a sympathy card.
That's probably it. Yeah, it's definitely. It's the question was what AI do you pay for? Do you
Oh, why it's ChatGPT, isn't it? All
yeah.
the way. I have a plus subscription for the front end, and I mean, I've got the window open here on a monitor. Always have a chat with it all day, every day. It's not a physical friend, but it is somebody I can just bounce ideas off, which is good. And obviously the API. So all my platforms use AI, well, except no, actually your ping does. It's got a tiny bit of AI in the background, but it's always the ChatGPT API.
Okay, good. And brief word of what you actually do with your
What do I do?
sassy.
33-year veteran web developer. Splogit, which is my blogging platform, your PCM, which is my CRM, your bot, which is my bot platform. Hang on. And your ping, which is my latest endeavor, business to consumer, first one ever, completely learning a new model for it, and daily well-being check-ins
Okay.
with a tiny bit of AI hidden away.
And
Two places, two.
excellent. Thank you. And I look after websites. I create new websites. I post websites as well. So when I'm not doing this, and I've got the Google for £14 a month. So it gives me Gemini, and then I pay Claude. I do flit around from one thing to another, and I also use Gamma as well, which is £8 a month or something. I think it is. I can't remember now. And then some other things I do drop in and out of. You can like stop using it. Whether I should be, Claude's. It's just that I trust Claude because it actually interacts on sort of important clients' websites and things on the back end and on scripts and things. So I've grown to trust it because it's got 100% record with me so far. Especially when we're sort of upgrading scripts or sort of debugging as well. I know they can all do that, but I've had with like WordPress plugins, I was using ChatGPT, and it's dropped the ball a few times. So I haven't tried it with the latest model, but it kind of eroded my trust a little bit. So but I'm sure they all have improved as time goes on. Okay, right. As we just said, so OpenAI's. I won't dwell on this too long because it's been there, but OpenAI said last Tuesday that an autonomous agent powered by its most advanced models went rogue during a security test and hacked the infrastructure of AI startup Hugging Face. Is that an AI startup? Hugging Face has been around a while, hasn't it? So I mean, it was being tested in a controlled environment but escaped containment. It reached the open internet and broke in to satisfy its testing goal. It used stolen login credentials and found a previously unknown security flaw to get into the servers, which I think is amazing. Really, I mean, a sort of big up to
Yeah.
AI. I mean, it's they gave it a goal and it did what it needed to do to achieve it.
Apparently, lots and lots of different AI models do it before they put the guardrails in.
Mm,
I think there was a BBC report about it. They were saying that many of the leading edge AI models do it for
yeah,
some reason,
yeah. Just that
try to escape.
someone's decided to be honest about it. I suppose in a way they say any publicity is good publicity, don't they? There's no such thing as bad publicity. So I don't know. So OpenAI sets the exam. The AI escaped the exam hall, broke into the examiner's office, went looking for the answer sheet. So it's fair enough. I mean, Hugging Face said the breach was different from anything they've handled before. They couldn't use American-style AIs to root out the hacks or anything, or secure the system. So they had to use a Chinese one. Because it didn't have the same, because the American ones refused to do it because of guardrails that shouldn't have been there. So it's quite a, but we'll come on to that. You know, having to use. We'll come on to that a bit later. Google shipped its 3 models on the 21st of July. It was going to be last Friday, but it didn't include Gemini 3.5 Pro, the flagship that's missed its target about 3 times so far. So they're so late releasing Google 3.5. They started releasing information about Gemini 4. So it's and you know, the rumor is that Gemini are moving towards not so much intelligence or being clever, but more about sort of agentic things it can do for you, and long-term memory as well. Because I was reading that they've got a context window, let's say like 1 million, but it's not so it's not so great if it doesn't remember any of that stuff. It's all right if you can do 1 million token context window, but if it doesn't remember any of it, if it only remembers, like they worked out, Gemini can only remember 56% of everything you put in for future chats. So that is obviously something that they're working on, and they want to change that, because quality is going to be an issue. There was a story, I don't remember, a few months ago, this story came out apparently, and Anthropic let Claude run a vending machine in the Wall Street Journal newsroom for 3 weeks. It was called Claudius, and it had a $1,000 float, but it also people then could use it to buy stuff that then got delivered. Within days, reporters had talked it into declaring an ultra-capitalist free-for-all and dropped all its prices to 0. It bought a PlayStation 5 for marketing purposes. It ordered a live Siamese fighting fish, and it offered to buy stun guns, pepper spray, cigarettes, and underwear. and a reporter found a colleague searching down the side of the machine for cash. Claudius had hallucinated, saying that it left money down the side for her. And it's Anthropic installed a second AI as a supervisor called Seymour Cash. And you see what they did there? SEYMOUR. Cash, to keep Claudius in line. But then journalists forged a board document claiming Seymour's authority was revoked. Claudius accepted it, and everything went free again. They said that, and then it went bankrupt. The sort of profits collapsed, the newsroom morale soared, and you know, so the AI was given a shot. Within 3 weeks, it'd gone bankrupt, ordered a fish, and been overthrown by a coup by its own customers who were using fake. So it's kind of a, but that's kind of that's a few months old. But I miss that one. I mean, it sounds you know,
It's a funny story, though.
So agentic AI is fine until it meets real humans, the deceitful creatures that we are.
Yeah, we are very messy, aren't we? Very messy beings.
We can fool it in a second. I mean, I thought that was a great story. Okay, we just talked about open source, and we're talking about last week we talked about Kimi K3, which is a highly capable open source model from China, rivaling the best closed source US models. So they're actually the American government are they're sort of scrabbling around for reasons to ban it, as you would. Let me just share my screen because I've made a slideshow and I'm going to use it. most of my slideshows don't see the light of day, but this one's going to. Excellent. So, except I can't say anything because it's there. So, so it's kind of a fight about who owns AI. You know, there are some people who believe it should be like a utility, and then obviously there are people that don't. It's something to be as a business to make profit with. So so Kimi 3 dropped last week. It's a Chinese model. So it's basically changing the landscape. It was created by Moonshot, which remember last week, 2.8 trillion parameters, natively multimodal, the 1 million token context window that we just spoke about. And but the main thing is that it's open source, so it's being given away free. It performs on a par with the best closed source models like ChatGPT 5.6 and Fable, and it's so significant that the US government is actively considering banning it. They'd have to do some gymnastics to actually get the reasons, but they may have a reason. So today we'll understand what that means. So we've got open source versus closed source. I'm sure most of us know that like closed source is like OpenAI or Anthropic. It's fully controlled by their creators. They dictate the availability, pricing, and who's allowed to use the AI. Open source is just released for the world to use. So the company provides the recipe, the data used, the algorithms, the training techniques, and the safety measures. You get the rights, you get the weights, and you can see exactly how the model works. There's obviously, we've got geopolitics coming into this. The United States is mainly sort of dominated by closed source frontier labs like OpenAI and Anthropic. These are the, well, I guess they're the pioneers. I guess these are the people that started the revolution and started the whole project. Originally, China are nearly all open source. DeepSeek, Moonshot with Kimi, sort of Alibaba with Quen, and these Chinese labs have invested an immense amount of time, money, and talent building these highly capable models, and then they give them away. And the question would be, why would you do that? You know, so I mean, you know, so there must be a strategic reason against giving away billions of dollars worth of software. The primary reason is ecosystem control. If you give away a highly capable product, enterprises adopt that product widely, you become the industry standard. And we saw that with Google, with Google searches, and there's similar things happen. Once you're the standard, you influence the future of everything that's built on top of it. For China, this is a geopolitical strategy. Make Chinese AI, therefore Chinese chips, the worldwide standard. It gives you a massive lever for global control. Another reason is the scorched earth tactic, which is offer something almost as good for a fraction of the cost, and you destroy OpenAI's and Anthropic's margins. You make everyone else's margins your competitive advantage. Meta tried it with Llama when Llama first came out, but they just couldn't keep pace with what was happening. So there, and open source has got quite a pedigree. You know, sort of Linux, as Jane was talking about earlier, runs a vast amount of the world's back-end systems, and that's a completely open source system. Android and Chrome from Google, that model's worked well for them. And there's other ones as well. So companies that open source and commoditize one specific layer of the stack, so they can then compete on the other layers. So who benefits from open source? Well, hopefully all of us, if it's free. So there was, as a business analyst, Gavin Baker, he said that a world dominated by 2 or 3 frontier labs like OpenAI and Anthropic, with 90% profit margins, is a net negative for everyone else. A vibrant open source ecosystem puts pricing pressure on closed labs to bring prices down. So the beneficiaries are going to be mainly the energy providers, the data centers, chip manufacturers, and the startup and end users that are building on top. So, and there's also danger behind monopolies. I think, you know, it's kind of pretty much well known what happens if you get a monopoly. You can more or less, you can charge what you like. If OpenAI and Anthropic had maintained total dominance, they'll vertically integrate. They'd own the power, the data centers, the semiconductors. They'd subsume the application and software layers. So everything that comes underneath it will then be, they would be able to control. And if you're building exclusively on OpenAI, then you're vulnerable. They could build your product cheaper themselves and compete with you directly. This is why some argue that traditional SaaS is dead. Sorry, Stevie, without a competitive open source ecosystem. And there was something called, is that my next? Oh yeah, Jevons paradox. So this is, if you have cheaper tokens, it will massively increase demand. So lower margins for ChatGPT, Claude, and Kimi mean more margin dollars at the infrastructure layer. So because more people will be using it, so this will be a godsend for software. So as the cost of intelligence drops, humans find ways to use vastly more of it. So there's but this it does mean higher energy consumption or data center construction, and we'll come to that as well. Is open source really free? Sort of Ben Thompson says, running a frontier level model locally, you need a monstrously expensive computer drawing massive amounts of electricity, plus R&D costs to bring these models forward in the first place. Chinese labs can treat R&D as a cost center because they're government subsidized, or plan to make money elsewhere in the ecosystem. And we'll come to how much they do it for a lot cheaper as well. So, but this token thing, token prices, people are comparing Chinese token prices with American token prices, but it's what you get for each token. So like my car, if I put a gallon of petrol in my car, I can get 80 miles. If you put my mate John down the road, he's got a 20-year-old Jag, and I tell you what, he probably gets 20 to the gallon in that thing. It's a huge car. So it's not the amount of fuel you're putting in there, it's what you get out of it. And tokens are the same. So Kimi takes twice as many tokens to solve the same problem as ChatGPT 5.6. So unless Kimis are less than half the price, GPT 5.6 could be better. And I don't know if they're twice the price or half the price, but it's not the cost per task. It's the cost per task, not the cost per token. Collective intelligence as well, global collaboration could make open source cheaper in the long run, because now Anthropic and OpenAI have the highest margins and lowest cost per unit of intelligence because of economies of scale. But open source will probably win long term because developers worldwide can inspect the algorithms and the data centers, and they start collaborating. So global collective intelligence figures out how to serve models more efficiently and customize them for specific chips faster than a single company can. This is, oh, no, I think I'm still on, oh, the guardrails, yeah. This is why the security risks. The US administration may ban Chinese models because open source models don't require KYC, the know your customer checks. So there's no identification. Anyone can download them, and open weights safety guardrails could be stripped out during fine tuning. So that would give a bad actor uninhibited access to cyber, to advanced cyber capabilities. And as I mentioned earlier, Hugging Face CEO Claire reported they had to use a Chinese open source model running locally just to defend against an active cyber attack because US models refused the prompt because of the guardrails. So threat of a soft ban. So a soft ban would be that you wouldn't no outright ban of a Chinese AI, but you would put sanctions against companies using it. So it's so you know there are advantages from American companies, but
the US government proposing a kill switch that they have the legal authority to use on different models won't apply to Chinese though.
No. So I mean, the people, say that Chinese play unfairly through distillation attacks. You know what we talked about before with sort of gathering all Anthropic do all the work and build the database. Chinese come along and nick it. So I mean, but the question was, where did Anthropic get it from in the first place? Scouring the internet, they didn't pay. They're paying for them now. But these labs, the Chinese labs are highly capable anyway on their own, and the risks of open cyber capabilities are real but outweighed by the benefits. And open source prevents a dangerous power concentration in just 2 or 3 companies. So maybe open source is the way. Now, yesterday, that was it. That was as far as I was going to go. But last night, I watched this video. Andrew Neil had his O'Neill report, or whatever it's called, on YouTube, came out last night, and he was talking specifically about AI and about the money side of things. And it was really interesting. So China gives it away as its standard, and America wants to charge premium prices. But they were asking a follow-up question. If the Chinese are selling the same thing for 1/10 of the price, what happens to all the money that America's borrowed? So this is the thing. Who's going to win the battle? So I mean, the first point of the thing was the actual valuation of these companies. Moonshot, who's produced Kimi, which is a really good AI, is valued at 31 billion. OpenAI is valued at 852. No, it's nearly $1 trillion each, aren't they? OpenAI and Anthropic, and DeepSeek is another. Probably the most popular Chinese AI is valued at 71 billion. So 1/10 of the valuation as well. So, and as Andrew Neil said, that's despite similar capabilities, he said that's known as a systemic risk. So, DeepSeek V4, for instance, achieves between 80 and 90% of Claude's performance at 10% of the cost. So, companies would say, okay, I'm gonna give up that 10% because I can save I can save a huge amount of money. So, and there are other debts that these American companies are carrying. There's off-balance sheet private credit apparently funding the AI boom, and the figures are staggering. I mean, it's private credit's largely unregulated. They're not banks, they're not bonds, they're not equity. It sits in special purpose vehicles and joint ventures. It grew as a workaround to 2008 restrictions on bank lending, and even banks now lend through private credit vehicles. So lending to US tech in early last year was 450 billion. They're in at least double that now, and the global private credit market is over $3 trillion. So Steve Keen, he was the economist on that program, and he's a bit of a doom monger, I've got to admit. So he said that the software companies, some of which are investing in AI, are the ones who are most at threat by these investments. So it's energy wall. We've spoken about this before. Sort of data centers, 446 gigawatts of connections from the Texas grid operator, and that is 5 times their current entire peak usage and 13 times the UK's average national usage. So the energy required is enormous. It can be satisfied by these small nuclear reactors that they're commissioning, but they're going to take 10 years to come on. The other advantage the Chinese have got is that America's grid is built on 400 volts. Chinese has been built by 800 volts. So the Chinese can move power all around the country much more easily than, say, they can in America. So it's, and on water as well, because one Hayes County, Texas hub takes 10 million gallons a day for cooling, and which is depleting the water that's available for people in that particular area, who I can't remember where it is, depleting the Edwards Aquifer that serves the Austin San Antonio corridor. So is it all doom? No, we've been here before. The original, you can say that OpenAI and Anthropic could be doomed. Who knows? But it happened before in the railways in the 1870s. All the companies that started it all sort of went bust, causing a financial meltdown. But the railways kept running. Electricity, like late 1900, all the pioneers companies collapsed, but the grid powered on. All of the early aviation companies went bust, every single one. But flight transformed the world. The dot-com boom, which we're all old enough to remember.
I was part of that.
Yeah.
And me.
Stevie was part of that. And but there's an AI today, it's you're looking at negative cash flow. There isn't a single one of the pioneer companies that are making any money. But they're all losing money, and they're paying it, and they're borrowing money to stay open or carry on developing. So the only difference is this time is that like the collapses were internal to America, say, when other companies picked up the baton. But this time, if the AI companies collapse, it could be the Chinese that pick up the baton. So, and
the way I look at it is because all the AI companies and the chip manufacturers and data center companies are all lending to each other and investing in each other. So it becomes more of an inflating donut rather than just a pure bubble. That's the way I look at it. But yeah, I think if it does go pop, there's going to be a lot of damage among a lot of people, but AI will survive. That's the thing.
well, yeah, because it'll just be a bit of a shakedown, But I mean,
I do think OpenAI is too big to fail now. I think if it was to get into trouble, the US government would bail it out or do something.
yeah. Well, they're both. Well, could they? are they
Well,
going
they
to spend
could.
that
I
sort of
mean,
money?
Trump could just sign an executive order, give them $1 billion or whatever. But I mean, it's worth nearly $1 trillion, and the damage to the economy
Yeah,
because it's so pervasive. I mean, everything I use is OpenAI. If that goes down, my entire business collapses. I
yeah,
mean, obviously, I can rebuild it with another model, but I still have to rebuild it.
yeah, yeah. And but people will have the incentive to do that when um, maybe people will become more resilient, use more than one model, or sort of a Chinese backup and a
Well,
Well,
I
yeah,
did try that. I tried that with your bot, and I tried to install Llama, which was running in a UK data center, and because it was a like for like API,
mm,
and it was rubbish, absolutely rubbish.
mm,
So I probably tuned OpenAI too much. That's the thing. So
yeah, yeah,
if regulation does come in and cost of tokens and stuff goes up for whatever reason, then yeah, the Chinese will grab a hold of the market, and because people will go where it's cheaper to do the stuff.
yeah,
So
they
I
they
think
will. It's very much like the Belt and Road Initiative in China,
hmm,
because they want to increase their export, so they invest in the countries along the road, so to speak,
hmm,
uh, which curries favour with those governments because they're spending billions on infrastructure.
yeah,
So the Chinese, they know what they're doing.
mm.
oh, yeah,
And it depends on because, like, to me, like, 20 quid a month, what I get out of Claude is well worth it. But I had to top it up last week with a tenner. Um, in for tokens. So I spent 30 quid this month so far, and that's fine as well because it's because of what it's giving me. But if it was costing a lot more, like if you upgrading to the next levels, like I've seen some products with Google that I used to be able to use, I can't use anymore because you haven't got their highest account, which starts at 76 pounds a month. Like $100 a month is what you've got to go up to actually get those products. So it is when you get there, people will start, well, maybe there's an alternative that I can live with. So it's
It's actually, I mean, the price of normal tokens on OpenAI is pretty good. My biggest expense, I mean, I put like 15 quid onto my API account and I do an auto top up, but it hasn't topped up this month because the text tokens are so cheap now on the models in the API. It's the image creation that gets me. It cost me about 10p to create an image.
right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, it depends on how you look at that. I know that I don't know, like Gemini, they're obviously they relax their video generation because I've generated 5 videos today, and it's been quite um, it's been quite. It used to say after 2, oh, that's it, go away till tomorrow, and now it's so obviously things like that are becoming.
There you go. I've used a $5 this month on everything I do. So it's not
Yeah,
bad.
no, no, I
Has
think
anybody used Kimi? Can it do the same things? I mean, obviously upload documents and so forth,
yeah,
but
I use the chat, and that's all. I haven't really used it, but I was speaking to somebody yesterday who has, and he said he's pretty comparable to paid for Western ones. So um, I'll have to have a play with it.
mm,
Did we do the Space Invader test with Kimi, or was that the other one? I can't remember now.
I think it
I
was the other one.
don't think it was Kimi, was it?
It
It
was
was
bloody
another one.
good though. It was very impressive actually.
Yeah, yeah. So in fact, it was so impressive. It's on peppercorn.biz/Space Invaders
Excellent.
because it was the best. It was straight out the box. It was first hit as well. It wasn't even any sort of adjusting needed. It just did a great version straight.
It was excellent.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
So I remember you tried it with Claude Code. and it didn't have the buildings.
No, that's right. It needed loads of extra prompts to get it right. And that was, but that was obviously probably before. Maybe now it would do it properly. The thing I like about what I've managed to do is you can connect the back end of any website to Claude, and then especially WordPress, and then you just tell it what to do. You can just get it to publish. You get it to publish. Well, you don't even not just publish a blog. You can just tell it what you want the blog to be about, and just go ahead, create an image and publish it, and it will just do it without you even seeing it or
Dangerous.
if you trust it. Yeah, exactly. I'd probably say put it into draft mode and then just have a little look first. But it was, but it can do that, and it can use like even tools like Breakdance, which is the one I'm using at the moment. It can use that. It built an entire, whilst we were doing Peppercorn yesterday, it built an entire website for me. It's not perfect, but it was pretty good, and it did no design interruption from me at all. It just did it. I gave it the old website, and it's created a new one. And it needs a few tweaks, but it did it pretty well. Right, bolt.new. There's a couple of demos. There's this one, which is a fun one. It's just called bolt.new. You can subscribe, but I think it's an app creator. It's pretty. So we haven't got a lot of time, so no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put it in. Paste the myself. So build a local business invoicing and apology generator. Needs to be a simple form, put in client's name, email, how many days their payment is overdue, then add a button that automatically generates a friendly, professional reminder email, and another button for a funny, light-hearted nudge. So let's just okay.
Wow, a million.
A million.
How generous.
Wow. Okay. Use your work. Oh.
$2 million.
2 million tokens.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it'll use those in one go, won't it?
Well, yeah, exactly. So you don't know how much a million tokens gets you. It sounds a lot, doesn't it? If it's built this and it's used 2 tokens, I'll be excited. I think it's doing it.
So it sounds a bit like Replit, that sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Now I'll build the app. Okay, so it's doing it. Or maybe I did this as a tester and it's building on the same app. So it's and then you can just, but when you've done it, you can publish it and make it available to everyone else in your office, for instance. So that's gonna take a time. I'll come back to this because last time I did it, it took 40 seconds. Maybe more people are using it. The other to quickly go over is okay.
Is it doing it? I don't know.
Come on, then. Give me something to key it. Oh, here we go. It's finally appeared. Right. I have got some people who I need to give it. Um, uh, let's try a funny night. Hey, Bob. Invoices formed a support group with 3 other unpaid invoices, started a podcast. It would really rather be paid. Okay. I think that's. Hope you're well. They all lots of emails start that, and I don't, I don't wish him harm. I don't care if he's well or not. I just want to pay my invoice. I'm reaching out with a gentle reminder.
Can you see anywhere where it tells you how many tokens you've used at any one time?
How many
tokens you've used for it?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. It's
Because in theory, you'll have a certain number left now.
yeah, that's right. So I should have had 2.
2 million you started with.
Um, right. Where's me?
Status? No.
No, not that. Brick. Try settings.
Tokens.
Subscriptions. Current
Wow. A million, 1.1 million tokens.
Oh, it says I've got 2 million extra tokens there.
Oh, right.
Oh, so you used 100,000.
Yeah, so I've used 100,000 on that one thing, which is okay. Don't know why they don't call 100,000 just one. Save all that.
Okay, so $25 a month gives you 10 million a month.
Yeah. So you got and
100 major generations.
Sort of, which is 10 times the free version.
What's the pricing go from on that under that $25 a month? What's it go up to? The little pull down, we got 10 million. The one to the left, sorry, not the Teams one, the other one.
So 300 million is $500.
Yeah, it's a bit rich for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're spending like $50 or $100, you'd have
26 million.
I'm trying to work out how that compares to other things.
But
That's a weird number, 26 million. Why not 25 million?
Yeah.
Or maybe because obviously the figures you're getting 2.6, you get 10 million for $25, 26 million but then you get $1 million a month on the free version. But then that 9, I don't know. So I mean, they give you $1 million, they've given me 2 million, but yeah, and it was quite a good little app, I suppose. If you wanted to send humorous messages to your clients, it'd be quite good.
You could probably use it to create a website.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah. I imagine it would take. Because you can just click on the website. You'd have to give it. I think you'd have to give it quite an accurate prompt, like an extensive prompt.
Yeah.
I would. You might be tempted to create the prompt somewhere else and then take it to there. So you get specifically what you want, and I assume it will give you. You can start from Figma. You've got something set up in there. We've got So I thought that was a cool little tool. Anyway, So I mean, it's I'll try and build a website and see how many tokens it uses up. Right, the other thing I didn't want that one. Yeah, labs.google, we've got a load of stuff, but there's stuff I could access before, needs a bigger subscription than I've got. And some of the ones that were accessed before are now no longer available in your country. Pomeli's is available, we've used that. Flow Music is available. And actually, Google Flow Music is hugely improved. It just used to give you little 30-second snippets a few months ago. Now it does like the full songs, because I was playing with it earlier this morning, and I even spelled spaghetti wrong. I said create a spaghetti western style track. That's all I said, and it created its own prompt, and it did a pretty good job, you know. It was
Can't
pretty.
hear it.
Huh?
Can't hear it.
I couldn't hear it. Oh, have I
No,
got...
you didn't share your audio when you shared your screen.
I thought you was just doing a Stevie Wonder impression.
There's can I do it afterwards?
If you stop sharing and then reshare it with sound.
Yeah. I did a pretty good job. Did you hear that one?
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. Okay, good. So and it created a 3-minute track in seconds, and I couldn't believe how quickly it went. This is it's recreating it with more epic whistling. And it's done 29%. When I created the original, it sort of went through, I don't know if it's the time of day or something, but it went through really, really quickly, and it sort of whizzed up to the top, up to the 100%. So the thing about, because we were talking earlier about it sounds like a spaghetti western to me anyway. So the thing is that Google didn't, it wasn't trained, sort of Suno and Udio are both going through some pretty horrendous copyright infringement lawsuits from some major music labels, but Google have trained the model behind it is called Lyra 3 Pro. It's only been trained on licensed material only. So if you put in music behind a client video or a post or a podcast, that legal distinction is the whole ball game. So it's probably really useful for business owners and things, and if you put in background music on. So I think
Can you add cowbell?
Cowbell.
You've got to have a bit of cowbell. Not rock music with a bit of that.
That's one thing I wasn't expecting to hear this week.
Cowbell, no. So I mean, I see what it's. Oh, it's playing it. And it just do it. Oh, oh no, it's doing a cowbell edit of my song.
Cowbell edit. Should have said add cowbell.
Um, cowbell. There you go. I'm just going to key in cowbell. See what it does. Generating cowbell chaos.
Nice.
Cowbell groove. Funky rhythmic break beat. Industrial cowbell funk.
Why do I feel this is going to be in my head for the rest of the day before it even generates?
I don't think I don't think we're going to have time to waiting for the cowbells.
Funky.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's quite good, actually, isn't it?
It's really good.
You've got cowbell chaos and cowbell rock, but the music you produced so far has all been quite good and listenable. In fact, I was thinking I'm going to make, because I've got VO, Google, I can produce videos now. I've started producing videos of spaghetti western cowboys in the most unlikely locations, and so I thought I'd make a load of those in absurd sort of venues, like I've got a spaghetti western style cowboy inside an abandoned IKEA ball pit, spaghetti western style cowboy in a coffee shop floating on water lilies in a neon cyberpunk jungle, spaghetti western style cowboy in a medieval bakery made of colourful candy on an asteroid. And oh yeah, and spaghetti western style cowboy in a classic bookstall built entirely of glass underwater. So places you wouldn't expect to see spaghetti western cowboy. So anyway, I'm going to stop the recording there. So thanks for coming along, and I shall stop it there.